This kitchen. Where do we even begin? I think we wanted someone to come in and smash up our kitchen.
The
it was
kitchen
time.
specifically, yeah.
Get out of there as soon as possible.
People would enter our home and just be like, oh, that's kind of cute. And then they walk through the maze that was the kitchen and then into the back room. They're like, oh, I see why you bought this house. Yes, I have a certain budget. I don't know what I can afford. And this is all super overwhelming.
Would have been a big problem for us. Trying to manage this project yourself, it would have killed me, honestly.
So they'll be able to access the kitchen from each side of the dining room and around the island.
That fills me with so much joy.
Hi, I'm Matt Sipes, a design consultant here at Lamont Bros. And today we're going to take you on a journey with Justin and Trisha through when we first began with them, into construction, what it was like living through this project, and how the transformation of their home has been for their family since the completion.
The house was amazing, the space overall was great, we love our neighborhood, but the kitchen was the biggest pain point. It had this narrow bottleneck going through the whole house. It was the only pathway into the back room, the back bedrooms. If you opened the fridge, it meant that no one else could pass behind you. It was the biggest pain. Our kids were stuck in it all the time.
All the time. And then if you think family gatherings or holidays, you know, I'm making the turkey and I have to open up the oven door, then you've got this line behind me of people that like would like to go to the other parts of our home and can't do that until I'm done. I think we came into the house knowing that this was not our favorite kitchen and that we really wanted to make a change. So I think that was on the top of our list in terms of home improvement projects.
Oh, it was a challenge to find the right partner for this project. I was looking everywhere. We had a number of folks come out and nothing fit right. No one understood this. We went back and forth on should we do a designer for the first part and then the contractor for the second part. Had someone come out and do a full design for us or talk through it, but then realized that then I would be the foreman of this project and thinking, what is my skill set in order to manage all these people?
That would have been a hot mess.
Absolute disaster. And so it became clear that we needed a design build company. And so then I reached out to Lamont. Joseph called me right away, like the day of when I sent in the inquiry. What was incredible though, I think just from day one, is that they knew that we couldn't do everything that we wanted to do. And so you all just made it work for us.
So this was a partial kitchen remodel. For the Zaratis, they wanted to do part of this project and they wanted us to do the other part. So the part that they wanted us to do was really the structural work, the things that they couldn't do. They felt comfortable doing things like painting the cabinets, and because of their budget, they wanted to take on those pieces. But they really needed us to take the big pieces of the project and make that a reality for them.
It was really helpful to have a partner in it who was willing to work within our budget, as opposed to saying, right, it's gonna be X, if you can't do it, too bad. And that was extremely helpful for us, I would say, overall.
Yeah, I very vividly remember when we were looking for people to go with for this project. Lamont came in with a tiered approach of this is what you can get accomplished with this amount of money. This is what you can get accomplished with this. I loved that because it really helped us wrap our minds around. I think that can be the biggest barrier to moving forward with these huge construction projects is I have a certain budget, I don't know what I can afford, and this is all super overwhelming. And it helped us prioritize like what is it that we need to get done and get it done new and super well, and what are things that maybe we can, you know, zhuzh in a way that will be cost effective for us.
So designing a partial kitchen remodel is a little bit tricky. You always want to try to find a good starting and stopping point so that we can come in and do our work and leave at a point where the homeowner can take over from there and finish the project out easily. So it really involves some strategic design up front to make sure that can happen cleanly.
The process of having the designers was, I think, really helpful for us.
They were really invested in what our vision for our kitchen was, and that was pretty awesome.
We didn't feel pushed in one way or another.
Yeah, and it's really great because there are certain things that you get, if you're a part of this process and you're able to have a seat at the table, you know, you can put in your 2 cents. So like early on, I was saying, you know, I'm making sourdough bread a lot. And I feel as though they're like, great, like what do you want for that? And I have this very large slab of butcher block that is specifically for baking bread. That's it, no one gets to use it. And that fills me with so much joy. The fact that I had that creative license to say, this is what I want in my dream kitchen, and then they made it happen is fantastic. It makes me so happy. I think it is daunting though to know that there is a set period of time that somebody's gonna come in, you're not gonna have access to your kitchen, your stove, you are gonna be displaced. But at the same time, I feel like Lamont was really good at creating a very clear, organized timeline and schedule. And that sort of, I feel like, put us at ease knowing, okay, this is the amount of time that we know it's going to be uncomfortable. But at the end of that, we're going to have this amazing kitchen that we've wanted our whole lives. So, I mean, it's definitely worth it. And having that structure, that organization is really what helps you like get into that mind frame of like, this is doable. We can make this happen.
So another challenge with this project was the scheduling. They had a very tight deadline. They were staying at a friend's house while we were doing the construction. So we really had no wiggle room on the outside ends of the schedule. And in the end, it worked out just perfectly. We got everything done just in the nick of time so they can move back in.
The big fear also when it comes to construction projects is that they will not be done when they say that they will be done. And so having it extend 2, 3, 4 weeks, a month later, would have been a big problem for us. And so to have it be set, here's when it's gonna start, here's when it's gonna finish, and then have it be all on time was incredible. The design build tools that they offered us from a software standpoint were fantastic. So every day we got to like log on, check it out, see a photo, here's the progress. There was a Gantt chart that showed me the whole progress throughout the whole 6 weeks. That was incredible. It just felt like they were on it. And just to have that comfort, to have the knowledge that it was happening, it was on time, I could track it, it wasn't, there just wasn't this unknown about it, felt really, really assuring because the investment is large, you have folks in your home. It was just a great experience overall.
And I felt like the team was really welcoming and accommodating. I mean, the few times that we came to stalk the progress, they had no problem with it. Like, you know, I feel like I felt kind of bad because we were super nosy. We're like, so what are you doing over there? What is that? But, you know, I felt like they were like more than happy to have us in their space and like took the time to explain to us. I mean, it just really felt like we were part of the team as well. Like it didn't feel like some weird process where these random people are coming into our home and just taking over the whole thing. We just had good conversations and we were let into the whole process, and that helped us feel super comfortable. Yeah.
So what we've done is we've took out this structural wall here, and then there used to be another old beam here that was pretty sketchy. It wasn't super well installed. And we built this temporary wall here, and there was another one right where I'm standing. So we built these walls, and then we were able to take out all this structural work here, the wall and the beam, and then we reinstalled this new architectural grade glue lam. So they took out the walls, they put in the glue lam, and then did all the hangers on it and did the posts on both ends. And then that gave us enough support to where we were able to take down this temporary wall on this side. But until we get the footings down below poured, inspected, and finished, we have to keep this temporary wall up because this wall is holding all of the load for pretty much all these joists throughout the house.
We never used to hang out in our kitchen because you wanted to get out of there as soon as possible.
Yeah. Well, also, our house had been separated into a front room, a kitchen, and then a really sweet back room. Now that there's this thoroughfare, there's this opening you can see from the front room all the way to the back room. It's this cohesive, big open floor plan. We now use our front room space. Before it just sat there like this weird museum to like old things. And now it's just like we will have our morning coffee or our breakfast at the bar, and we can see our kids on the couch playing games. We can keep an eye on them without actually having to be physically next to them and all still feel like we're engaged in life together.
I mean, when that wall came down, that was the biggest moment for us. And I think that first night when we were back and we were sitting on this couch and just seeing through the whole house,
Yeah.
just blown away. Just could not believe that this was finally our home, and that was the
awesome.
best thing. Yeah.
I remember when we opened the door and we walked in and got this huge area, you know, from the front room to the back room. The kids come in and start doing laps around the island, just running like crazy people. And it just felt so good because there was so much space for them to do that. Now I don't love it as much because they do that with their scooters, but you know, they
Scooters
can
inside.
do it. They can, so.
If you're thinking about remodeling your kitchen, I think just trust someone who knows what they are doing. There is an added cost to that, but trying to manage this project yourself, it would have killed me, honestly. And I think too, just last thing, even relationally, I think what we built in friendship with Lamont Brothers, with everyone who worked here, we feel like we gained friends out of it, and that felt really, really good too. These weren't just folks who we hired in our home, it was something beyond that, and that was really fun, I think, as well.
Justin and Tricia were great to work with. We love helping transform spaces for families like theirs and making them as functional as possible. If you live in the Portland metro area and you need a remodel to make your space more functional, feel free to schedule a phone call with us. We'd love to talk to you about how we can do that.